everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to trim a foot on your pot. So I have the 4 pieces that I threw in the last video here on a board, and they're covered under plastic so that they'll stay moist. And I'm just feeling the moisture content of these. You want your piece to be leather hard, so soft enough that you can trim a foot in, and these are all leather hard. This one here yesterday was a little bit dry, and so I did this. I dunked the whole thing in water. I just kind of dipped it all down in, and then I wrapped it in plastic overnight to really let that moisture sink in. So I wrapped it not on the board but over and under in plastic, and then it kind of softened a little bit. So sometimes when you come to your pots after having thrown them and you unwrap them, you realize that they're still a little bit soft. You don't want the lip to be tacky to the touch for your finger to stick. This one here I turned over yesterday afternoon in the studio after class, and it smushed the lip a little bit. It looks like it was a little bit tacky. So I think it's still leather hard and kind of a soft leather hard. I could really kind of still smush it with my finger and make a little indentation. You can trim at that stage. It will give you a slightly different effect than if you trim clay that's a little bit drier. You don't want the clay to be bone dry or chalky, otherwise it will just kind of make little shavings that are tiny and powdery, and it will likely chatter or kind of give you a washboard effect on the outside, and it's also very dusty. So if it's already completely chalky, it's too dry, but if it's a very stiff leather hard, you can try dipping it in the water to soften it up. Okay, so you're going to need a couple of different tools. You're going to need your kind of pear-shaped trimming tool like this. Mine's slightly different. And then you're also going to want your loop tool that has the oval end and the more squarish end. I have variations on these. They make these in lots of different shapes and sizes. And then you're also going to want your needle tool and kind of a small lump of clay so that you can hold the clay down on the wheel head. So I am going to grab one of my pieces. So I'm going to use this round one here. And the first thing I want to do is examine the pot, figure out how thick the bottom is, and kind of remember that so that I know how far down I can trim. And then I also, like this piece here, is a little bit rounder on the inside. It's not so much a cylinder like the ones that we were throwing. And so I'm going to trim this one so it's kind of like a bowl with a foot ring on the bottom.